Welcome to World Alert Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Trillion-dollar oil reserves discovered in the Philippines. But will they survive the global race? That's the headline splashed across television screens and news feeds everywhere. The world is gripped by a single, burning question. Could the Philippines be sitting atop one of the greatest energy treasures of the century? The headlines scream urgency, painting a picture of both hope and danger in equal measure. Viewers from New York to London, from Beijing to Riyadh, are glued to live updates as tensions rise in the South China Sea. The breaking news isn't just about oil, it's about power, politics, and possibility. International correspondents rush to Manila. Every detail is scrutinized. The excitement is electric, but so is the sense of looming risk. For many Filipinos, the moment is surreal. Years of being overlooked in global affairs are now replaced with a spotlight that is both dazzling and honestly a little frightening. The question remains, can the Philippines harness this newfound attention, or will the dream slip away amidst international chaos? The story is only beginning, but already the stakes could not be higher. The Philippines is known for its breathtaking landscapes. Over 7,000 islands boast turquoise waters, lush jungles, and coral reefs. Tourists flock here for the beaches, and locals take pride in their rich culture and resilient spirit. For centuries, the archipelago was famous for its natural beauty and warmth. But now, the world sees something else. Beneath those sparkling waves and golden sands lie vast, untapped reserves of oil and gas. Geologists whisper of fortunes hidden under the seabed. Energy companies circle, hungry for a share of the prize. Suddenly, the Philippines is not just a paradise, it's a battleground. The race is on. What was once a peaceful chain of islands now finds itself at the center of a global scramble for energy. Every headline, every tweet reflects this new reality, and with the world watching, the pressure is immense. The future of the islands is no longer just about tourism, it's about survival, sovereignty, and the promise, or peril, of unimaginable wealth. The crisis began far away. War and instability rocked the Middle East, sending shockwaves through oil markets. Tankers were delayed, pipelines bombed, and prices soared overnight. Gas stations from Europe to Asia ran dry. Airline tickets skyrocketed. Families braced for blackouts and rationing. Governments scrambled to secure new energy sources. Old alliances faltered. New deals were struck in haste. Panic was in the air. The world, thirsty for oil, searched desperately for alternatives. In the chaos, eyes turned east, to the Pacific. There, in the blue expanse off the Philippines, rumors of giant oil fields grew louder. The country, once seen as a quiet outpost, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight. Could this beautiful archipelago become the world's next energy powerhouse? The stakes were clear. If the Philippines delivered, it could help stabilize the world economy. If not, the energy crisis could grow even worse. The pressure was on, and the clock was ticking. Almost overnight, the Philippines transformed from a tourist haven to a symbol of hope. International leaders called Manila. CEOs of oil giants booked flights. The nation's leaders rushed to reassure their people and the world that they could rise to the challenge. Filipinos felt a mix of pride and anxiety. There was talk of a second chance, a chance to lift millions out of poverty and create a new era of prosperity. But there was also fear. What if the promise turned into a curse? For the first time in living memory, the Philippines found itself at the center of global attention. The sense of possibility was exhilarating. Could this be the start of something bigger? Or would outside forces crush the nation's dreams? Either way, the world was watching closely. The energy storm might have started elsewhere, but its eye was now firmly set on the Philippines. The greatest hopes rest in the West Philippine Sea. Here, beneath the rolling waves, lie the country's most promising oil and gas reserves. The Reed Bank stands out, a patch of seabed believed to hold billions of barrels of oil and trillions of cubic feet of gas. Exploration maps mark other hotspots: the Spratly Islands, the Malampaya Field, and the Palawan Basin. Experts debate the numbers. Some claim the reserves could be worth $1 trillion or more, while others urge caution, noting that much remains unproven. Drilling in deep water is risky and expensive, but the potential is undeniable. If the estimates hold true, the Philippines could become one of Asia's top energy exporters. The country's fortunes, and perhaps even its political destiny, could change forever. Yet, between the treasure and the people, lies a minefield of technical, political, and environmental challenges. The race to unlock the reserves is just beginning. Imagine a future where the Philippines is no longer dependent on imported oil. Factories run on cheap local energy. Roads, ports, and airports spring up across the islands. Millions of new jobs transform lives. Poverty rates plunge as the benefits of oil wealth spread. The government talks of new hospitals, schools, and social programs. Rural communities are promised roads and electricity. Business leaders see opportunities for new industries and innovation. Ordinary Filipinos dare to dream bigger dreams. But turning oil into opportunity is not easy. It takes careful planning, wise leadership, and strong institutions. History is full of countries that squandered their oil wealth or fell victim to corruption. For the Philippines, this is a historic chance. But honestly, it is also a test. Will the nation rise together, or will old divisions and new temptations hold it back? Not everyone welcomes the Philippines' new role. China claims much of the West Philippine Sea as its own, drawing a so-called 9-dash line that covers vast swaths of ocean. Chinese ships patrol these disputed waters, intimidating Filipino fishermen and survey teams. Standoffs sometimes turn dangerous, with water cannons and ramming incidents. The tension is more than just words. Military bases are being built on artificial islands. Warships maneuver, honestly, dangerously close. Diplomats issue threats and warnings. The world holds its breath, fearing that a single spark could ignite a wider conflict. Allies rally to support the Philippines. The United States, Japan, and Australia call for freedom of navigation and respect for international law. But the reality on the water is tense and unpredictable. Every day, Filipino crews brave the risks. The promise of oil is great, but the danger is real, and frankly, growing. The Philippines has scored legal victories. In 2016, an international tribunal in The Hague rejected China's sweeping maritime claims. The ruling was a historic win for the Philippines and for the rule of law at sea. Allies cheered. China, however, dismissed the decision, continuing its assertive actions on the ground. Turning paper victories into reality is another story. Filipino officials struggle to enforce their rights in contested waters. Oil exploration is often halted by Chinese patrols. Fishermen find themselves outnumbered and outgunned. The challenge is clear. Legal support is important, but it's not enough. The Philippines must build up its own naval and coast guard forces. It also needs strong alliances and diplomatic skill to deter aggression without escalating to war. The battle for control is fought in courtrooms, on the high seas, and in backroom talks. The outcome remains uncertain. Beyond the external threats, the Philippines faces internal hurdles. Developing oil reserves requires billions in investment. The country must attract partners, safeguard workers, and build infrastructure. Political instability and corruption remain risks. Powerful interests may try to grab the wealth for themselves. There are also questions of fairness. Will the benefits reach ordinary Filipinos or just a privileged few? Can the government resist temptations to overspend or mismanage funds? Environmental concerns loom large. Oil spills could devastate fisheries and tourism. Transparency and good governance are essential. Civil society groups demand accountability. The world offers advice and, watches closely. For the Philippines, this is a test of leadership as much as resources. The right choices now could shape the nation for generations. The wrong ones could doom it to repeat the mistakes of others. Today, the Philippines stands at a historic crossroads. The promise of trillion-dollar oil reserves is real, but so are the dangers. The country could transform itself, lifting millions out of poverty and becoming a model for the world. Or it could become trapped by conflict, corruption, and lost opportunity. The headlines will not decide the future. That task falls to the Filipino people, their leaders, workers, and communities. The world is watching, hoping for a success story. But nothing is certain. In the end, this is more than a story about oil. It is about the destiny of a nation, the courage to dream, and the wisdom to act. The Philippines' next chapter is still unwritten. Its choices in this moment will echo for decades, not just at home, but around the world. The crossroads have never been starker. The future, bright or dark, now lies in the hands of the Filipino people.